giving somebody the blues today.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We have more crazy news to talk about, break down, and dissect. Right now, the FGC has to be in one of the greatest periods it's ever been in. Tekken 7 is doing phenomenal, broke records. Mortal Kombat 11, I say, was on the path to breaking records, but they stopped it early. We'll talk about why that is in just a second. Street Fighter V, yes, it had a rocky launch, and that kind of stumbled, and that kind of prevented its greatness. But Street Fighter VI is set up to be a juggernaut, especially with all of the design choices and everything that's happening with that game. I think Street Fighter VI has a whole lot of potential. There's many discussions happening right now around the FGC. I'm doing my best to cover all of them, but there really is a lot of stuff happening between Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, King of Fighters, Tekken. There's so much things that's happening. So many things are popping up. Some stuff fake, some stuff real, some stuff is from the past that people are comparing to what's happening now. A lot of things are happening. But today, we got some exciting news. First, the first portion of this video, I want to celebrate Ed Boon's accomplishment. In a Game Informer news article that was posted yesterday, February 24th, 2022 at 4:32 p.m. The headline on that news article says, Ed Boon on his AIAS Hall of Fame induction and career in video games and pinball. In this news article, it basically explains that Ed Boon was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Ed Boon was a very pivotal part of games overall. Even though fighting games doesn't really play that big of a role if you compare it to juggernauts like Fortnite or Call of Duty or stuff like that, it definitely set the stage, and it definitely is making a comeback. And I think a lot of that, you got to give credit to Ed Boon. Game Informer has some images linked with this news article. You have one here of Ed Boon. This has to be like early 90s. I want to say like 93 or 94 something, but he's in this sort of arcade room, it looks like, and you have him standing next to two pinball cabinets. I don't know if he helped create those or design those or whatever. A lot of the news article was also talking about pinballs too. I don't know that side of Ed Boon. The second image is, of course, Mortal Kombat. Goro, Liu Kang, a very iconic and historic game that is. Mortal Kombat really did so much. Even when you talk about it being the reason that the game rating was created. ESRB, mature, 18 plus, rated T for teen, all of that stuff is because of Mortal Kombat. The third image is a newer one. This is a screenshot of Scorpion. I believe this is what they were using in the promotion of Mortal Kombat 11, but you have him doing the classic spear throw, get over here, flames all around. Everyone's seen this picture. The next one that I want to talk about, I don't know what this is, but you have 4 arcade cabinets connected together. I don't know what this game is. It says The Grid on it. I have no clue what this game is, but it was in a news article, so I thought I should add it to the video. Now, if we talk about the Mortal Kombat, Injustice, Marvel, all of that stuff, there's a second news article. This one is from Event Hubs, and this one gives us a pretty good understanding of what's happening. For all of you who just got here and don't really know what's happening, I'll give you guys a quick breakdown. In the summer, around, I would say September, October of 2021, there was a NVIDIA GeForce leak. In that leak, we got a release dates for a lot of games. It was so many games on there, but the ones that are important to this video, you had Tekken 8, which I believe it was December the 1st. You have Street Fighter, which I believe was January 23rd. And then you had Injustice, which was the same month. And then in April, you had Mortal Kombat 12. So a lot of people were confused. They were saying, why would NetherRealm Studios release Injustice and then like 2 months later release Mortal Kombat? It didn't make sense for them to be competing with themselves. And this news article kind of gives us an answer to why both of those things appeared there in that way. The headline says, Ed Boon implies that NetherRealm Studios' next game won't be Injustice 3 in new interview. The part of this interview that's really interesting, I'll read. The quote from Ed Boon says, "When you're in the middle of it, it can be stressful and taxing on you. But when you're done and the product is received well, you tend to forget those days, the hard stuff." He goes on to say that the feeling of accomplishment is what energizes him to move on to the next title. And this new Hall of Fame acolyte definitely makes the struggle worth it. There's a part in here where they talk about the cycle, going back and forth between Mortal Kombat and Injustice. It says, since Mortal Kombat 9 in 2011, NRS first game that the company has altered between Mortal Kombat 9 and Injustice releases. Mortal Kombat 9, Injustice Gods Among Us 2013, Mortal Kombat X 2015, Injustice 2 2017, and Mortal Kombat 11 in 2019. So you can see there where the cycle was formed. They do Mortal Kombat, they follow it up with Injustice, they do another Mortal Kombat, another Injustice, and a lot of people were expecting that after MK11 they would do Injustice 3, and a leaked title for that is Gods Will Fall. But he's saying here that the pattern has officially been broken. So there's something there. There's something that's going to come either before Injustice 3 or Injustice 3 may not come at all. I know there was a news article a few months ago. Basically, Warner Bros., they weren't really happy with the sales performance of Injustice. You know, these parent companies, they want the biggest and best games. And Injustice just wasn't it. Like, I played Injustice 1, I think I played Injustice 2, but it just was not like Mortal Kombat. They tried their best to make it something cool and something that FGC can hold on to, but I don't know why. For whatever reason, the Injustice franchise just did not stick, and it kind of looks like they're moving on from it. A quote here from Ed Boon, it says, "We broke that pattern. There was a lot of speculation of what we could be doing next. I can tell you there was a reason for it. And when we announce our next game, it will make a lot more sense." So here he's kind of confirming that Injustice 3 will not be next. We don't know what that will be. Yes, we got that Mortal Kombat 12 leak that happened on Twitter, I believe like a month ago. But there also is rumors of a Mortal Kombat versus Marvel, or them possibly just making a Marvel game altogether, which I would be super interested in. Marvel has some of the best movies out right now. Well, I won't say best. There's definitely a lot of movies that are better when you talk about a cinematic experience, but Marvel is kind of like the fast food of the movie industry. Very easy to digest, very easy to just watch, and I do think they have a lot of characters right now that's cycling through these movies that would make great video game characters. Doctor Strange, Wanda aka Scarlet Witch, Vision, Spider-Man, Kang the Conqueror, Loki. You have female Loki. I don't know if they will want to do Galactus. I know they're about to introduce the X-Men into the universe, Fantastic Four. They have a Blade movie coming up. They have so many possibilities with Marvel, and I would love to see a game just centered around that. It doesn't even have to be a Mortal Kombat versus Marvel, but that would be really cool too. The next part I want to read says, MK12 is another one of the projects fans highly suspects is in the work, and one bit of evidence fueling that fire came about last month when NRS senior producer manager shared a desktop photo that appeared to show a line code on the PC screen reading MK12. That being said, many fans feel that might have been an intentional move and purposeful misdirection due to the leak culture of the internet nowadays. So what they're talking about is this image. I talked about this image I believe like 3-4 times already, but basically on the right monitor a file says Mortal Kombat 12. So you could take this two ways. One, this is concrete facts that Mortal Kombat 12 is coming, or this is misdirection, misleading purposely. Because here's the thing, leak culture is very, very real. A lot of companies understand that leaks can be a part of marketing. Of course, that Nvidia leak was not a part of marketing, but this tweet that was deleted and other things similar to this can all be a part of marketing. Every leak that we see is not unintentional. Some are, but some definitely are not. And this one, I think it definitely serves a purpose. We don't know what that is. We probably will find out soon though. The next part I want to read says, rumors have been floating around in recent times that NRS is currently making a Marvel fighting game. And Boon has dropped a few hints over the past year or so that fanned those flames a bit. The longtime game maker has also gone on record in the past saying that he has had at least one conversation with Marvel about making a fighting game, and even told Game Informer in 2019 that NetherRealm would love to make a Marvel fighting game or a DC versus Marvel. What this part is referring to is two things. One, we have a tweet here. It says, wow, James Gunn has managed to work on DC and Marvel movies. That's impressive. And a lot of people were, I don't know if they were reading too much into it, but a lot of people were thinking that there was more to this. Maybe he is mentioning this, working with DC and Marvel, is because maybe he's doing that. Mortal Kombat versus DC, who knows? Ed Boon may now be working on a Mortal Kombat versus Marvel. Some people are speculating that is why he put this tweet out. The second thing that Event Hubs is referring to is, of course, the interview from 2019. It says, Boon previously stated that he has at least had a conversation with Marvel about making it, but he, and it's in quotes, probably shouldn't talk about it. We would love to make a Marvel fighting game or Marvel versus DC, said Boon in 2019 interview with Game Informer. I think it'd be the coolest, right? So there's a lot of different possibilities here. Mortal Kombat 12, Mortal Kombat versus Marvel, or just a Marvel game all on its own. Any one of the three definitely would set the community on fire. You guys pick which one you would want to see. Me personally, I think I probably would go Mortal Kombat versus Marvel, a Marvel fighting game, as in Mortal Kombat 12. The reason why I would put Mortal Kombat 12 as the third possibility is because, one, the story is kind of a weird position right now. They would have to do some crazy stuff to make it work. But also, I think with Mortal Kombat 12, some of the stuff that's being said about that game right now doesn't sound too exciting. A lot of people are saying that it's going to be a remake of Mortal Kombat 10, 9, and 11. Basically the same cast of characters all over again. I want to see something new, something innovative, something different out of the NetherRealm studio. And I think, like I said, the Marvel movies has a lot of potential. If they were to make a Marvel fighting game, imagine how many people that would draw into the community. Imagine the potential in that. Marvel movies are huge. So if they were to do something like that, it would be legendary. But that's everything. That's everything that's happening right now surrounding Mortal Kombat. If there's more announcements or teasers or hints or interviews, whatever it is, if something else happens, I will do a follow-up video. But that is it right now. I have a lot more things coming on the channel, some Street Fighter stuff, some Tekken stuff. I'm doing the best that I can, bouncing through all of these topics. It really is fun and entertaining watching all of these discussions takes place. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see all of you next time. Bye bye.